All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your first day of school. This is Church History, Ecclesiology, Fall of 2020 with Mr. Casey Vandenberg. That is me. Okay. So, quick overview of the syllabus. I don't want to spend too long on this, but it's important stuff. So, I got my name, room numbers. So, I'm teaching in 3 different rooms this year just because of the wonky COVID stuff. You know which room you're in because you're in it right now. Okay, got my email address there as well. So contact information, course description, I will not read to you. You can read that on your own, but basically, we'll talk about the course schedule when we get to the bottom. Main course outcomes, you can read those on your own too if you wish. Course materials, for the fall you need the history of the church, got the ISBN there. This is from the Didache series by Midwest Theological Forum. Didache is Didache. Okay. You're going to need that for the fall. Winter semester, you need the same series, the book titled Social Doctrine of the Catholic Church. All right. The history of the church is this kind of burgundy fake leather, and the Social Doctrine of the Catholic Church is an orange fake leather. Okay. All right. So make sure you got those. School issued Chromebook. We'll talk about that in the next section, why that's super duper important. Headphones, very important that you have your own pair of headphones. Okay, bring those every single day. We'll talk about that as well. Pens or pencils, writing things is always kind of useful. Optional notebook and binder. Why is that optional this year? Because almost everything is going to be computer-based. Okay, we'll talk about that next. Method of instruction. Obviously, we're in a weird situation here. We've got 5 to 10% of students starting the year online. We're going to have people probably going to have people going in and out of quarantine throughout the year just based on exposure to COVID, things like that, okay? So it's very possible. We have to be prepared to switch between online and in-person learning at the drop of a hat, okay? If the state or the county goes into phase 3, we're in phase 4 right now. If we go back into phase 3, everybody goes online, okay? So we got to be ready. Here are some of the ways I'm working on getting prepared for that, okay? Pre-recorded video lectures, just like you are watching right now. So instead of lecturing in class and recording that and uploading that online for the online people, what I'm going to do is record my lectures, make ed puzzles, and then assign them at the same time to people in class and people at home. So whether you're in class or you're at home, you're getting the exact same essential content there, all right? Same lecture and all of that delivered in the same way. So that's why you need your own set of headphones. That's why you need your Chromebook every single day. I can't very effectively keep a set of headphones here sanitized between every class period. So bring your own headphones. Electronic assignments and assessments. So as much as possible, all of your homework, classwork, and even quizzes will be online. All right. More details as we go on that. But that's going to do a couple of things. Number one, for testing, that allows people at home to take the quiz at the same time that the people in class are taking it without having to come in. And if they're not in Lansing, that's fine. They can still do it from wherever they are. Number two, it's going to minimize the spread of germs between y'all and me, okay? So I don't end up with a stack of papers that 100 different people have touched, and then I get those germs and I take those home to my kids and my wife, all right? And then I don't give them to you when I'm handing them out either. So it's kind of a germ-free way to do it. Okay. Google Slides presentations. I'll post those on the classroom site so you guys have my notes as well. Okay. Electronic readings. Anything outside of the assigned textbooks will be given electronically through Google Classroom. Okay. PDF format or whatnot. All right. For online learners, and really for online learners only, I will have weekly office hours every Tuesday from 4 to 4:30 p.m. I will send out an email every Tuesday to the online learners only with a link to a Zoom meeting, and that will be our office hours. Those are optional, but I really would love for you to come because I want to meet you, first of all. I want to get to know you a little bit. I want to stay in contact, and I want you to have the opportunity to ask any questions you may have on stuff we're learning in class. You can send me emails other times of the week, but that'll be a really nice way to do that, I think. All right. Google Classroom gets its own section in the syllabus because that's how everything's going to operate this year. Okay. All right. So there are your class codes. You should be on there already from orientation last week. But if not, get on there like immediately. Okay. Of course, if you're doing this ed puzzle right now, you probably are already on there. Anyway, every single day, I will make one post under the Stream tab, which is the main screen when you go to Classroom. I will make one post that outlines the unit objectives, the daily learning targets, assignments or projects and their due dates, materials needed, links, any other necessary reminders for the day. That'll be the main daily communication for all online learners, but also everybody in class is basically going to be checking that and using that to operate in class as well. Okay. All right. So in addition to that daily post, all the assignments and instructions will be posted under the classwork tab and grouped according to unit. All right. If we need help on navigating Classroom, I can talk to you about that. We can talk about that after this lecture, perhaps. Okay. For online learners, you should already have gone through the orientation with the administration. Okay. I would like to point out, going back up here just for a moment, yes, my lectures will be online, but if you're in class, then we're going to do other stuff in class as well. And after the lectures, we'll have time to talk about things as a class too. Okay. Answer questions, things like that. So it's not going to be completely online. You're not going to be staring at your computer screens the whole time in class. Okay. Course policies, attendance, makeup work. We've got this new category for people who are in quarantine or online but not sick. Okay. People in that category or those categories will be following the same deadlines as everybody in class. But if you're absent, meaning that you're sick or you're unable to do your work for that day, see the daily post from the day or days that you missed on Classroom. It's very easy to find out what you missed. All right. Obviously, excused absences, you get as many days to make up work as you missed. Unexcused absences, you don't get to make up that work. Late policy. For homework and classwork, I will accept those assignments, even late, for up to full credit until the day before the unit assessment. So we'll have a quiz next Thursday. All of the homework classwork assignments that I'm giving up to that quiz, you can turn them in for full credit until through next Wednesday. If you try to turn it in on Thursday, which is the day of the assessment, or after that, you get no credit for it. Okay. All of that work, because it leads up to the assessment, that all has to be done before the assessment. Okay. Now, if you are absent for a significant portion of the unit or the day of an assessment, okay, that gets moved back a day or as many days as you missed, or if you miss a big chunk of time, we got to work that out, you and me. Okay. You and I will have to have a discussion, figure out what's a fair day for you to have the assessment, and then that becomes your new deadline for getting in all the homework and classwork. All right. Hopefully that makes sense, but we can clarify that if we need to after you watch this video. Classroom management disciplinary policies. Okay, no phones, obviously. Only computers that are permitted in class are school-issued Chromebooks. All right, no iPads, no gaming laptops, no great desktops or supercomputers. They will not fit in my room. So the only things you can use are school-issued Chromebooks, and those have to be closed unless I tell you to use them. So don't just come in, get on there, check your email, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Dress code. All right. See the student handbook. Academic dishonesty includes copying answers from somebody else, even on homework, using resources and assignments that you're not, or resources that you're not allowed to use on quizzes, especially using somebody else's work as if it is your own, all of those things. Okay. If you do that, you'll get a 0 on the assignment. I'll notify your parents and the dean of students, and then additional consequences as necessary. And the school is going to provide more details on testing as it relates to online learning as we go. Okay. Bathroom usage needs to be minimized, especially due to the COVID situation, but I'm only going to let one person leave class for the bathroom at a time. And if somebody seems to be using the bathroom an unusual amount in my class, and it becomes a problem, then I'll talk to you one-on-one. All right. COVID-specific disciplinary guidelines, sanitization, all that kind of stuff. All right. That'll be outlined by the administration as we go. A lot of that's going to change throughout the year as the COVID situation changes. All right. Grading policy. standard grading scale, semester grades, you all know how those are calculated. Quarter grades are calculated as follows. So I've got a weighted grading system, 40% homework classwork, that includes your ed puzzles, and then 60% quizzes and projects. All right, that's the weighting there. I'll offer extra credit at my discretion. A couple last things here. Spiritual conferences on Fridays. All right, y'all will probably remember back in January when you're picking your classes, you had two options. You could pick the Life in the Spirit track or the Fundamental Principles track. Due to scheduling difficulties, we were unable to run those classes as separate classes, but I'm trying to incorporate different aspects of that into this class. So every Friday, we're still planning on having adoration for half of class. And then we've got that weird 15 to 20 minutes left for the other part of class. What I'm going to try to do is pick some aspect of prayer or topic in the spiritual life just to address quickly and have a little bit of a discussion about in class. All right. I think that's a really important part of spiritual formation in the school that we don't really get to do as often. We have retreats and things, but those are too infrequent to really get this going. So a few guidelines here. Number one, I can't and I won't try to force you to pray or do anything you're not comfortable with or you don't believe in. I can't violate your conscience. All right. We're all at different places. I get that. And I'm not going to try to force you to do anything. No aspect of your grade is going to be based on your faith or on prayer or relationship with God. Obviously, you can't measure those things. It would not be fair to grade anybody on any of that. However, all of us have to respect each other no matter what the other person believes. Okay, so that includes both those who don't believe and maybe think religion is stupid and don't want to pray or anything like that. Fine. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to force you to. But you need to respect the people who do believe and who do want to engage with this stuff and be respectful of them. Don't interfere with their efforts to learn and to pray and all that. The same goes for those of us who do believe and wish to learn and grow spiritually. We have to be respectful of those who don't, right? Jesus was very clear on this. Stop judging that you may not be judged, okay? We're all at different places. There was a time in my life where I was very hostile towards religion. I thought it was stupid, and I made fun of religious people. All right. Now I'm a theology teacher, ironically. So let's not judge anybody. Okay. We have to be respectful no matter where we are. If you're somewhere in the middle, that applies to you too. All right. But if you don't believe, you have no interest in any of this stuff for your own personal benefit, approach it with an open mind, open heart, and a willingness to learn what we're talking about anyway. Even if only from an academic standpoint. Approach it as you would a class on Buddhism or Hinduism or some other world religion that you don't subscribe to, but it's still very good information to know. All right. Briefly, I'll touch on the course schedule. Got a week-by-week breakdown here with assessment. All right. Here's the heart of the church history portion. This 4-week period here, we're going to go through a very, a very general global overview of the church's history in 4 weeks. That's going to give you sort of a context for everything else we do. And we're going to then go back and dig into particular aspects. We've got a good movie on the early persecutions and martyrdom in the church that we will watch. That's not going to be like a 5-page paper or anything. That's just going to be a short written response. All right, Arian controversy and Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed. We'll dig into some St. Athanasius. Monasticism, we'll look at the development and spirituality of it. That's probably my favorite thing. And then the Illuminated Manuscript Project, we'll talk more about later. Some of you probably saw those in the hallways last year. Probably touch on something here. Mary in the Modern World, there's a new movie called Fatima coming out. I'm hoping that that'll be quality, and I can show that in class. Talk about Marian apparitions and things like that. Finish off with some mysticism. All right, excuse me. All right, that's the outline of the semester. I'm very excited to get started. Thanks for watching, and now I'll field any questions.